Hi, my name is Rod Boothby. I run a blog called Innovation Creators, and this is the business case for enterprise blogs. Success in the face of global competition requires constant innovation. If you want to achieve constant innovation, you need to empower the people who are doing all that innovating for you. You need to empower your innovation creators. How do you foster an environment that encourages constant innovation? One of the fastest ways to do it is to use a new class of internal communication tools. You use enterprise blogs. Okay, that was the high level. Let's go into the details. Warning, they are coming to get you. Look out. Competition is coming from India, from China, from a couple of crazy kids from Stanford. A new level of global competition is having an impact on almost every line of business. Take, for example, content management software vendors. They sell software used to run large sites, such as major news sites. The biggest vendors have installations of millions of readers, but they only have a few hundred authors. Content management is a billion-dollar industry. Their competition comes from this dangerous-looking woman. Don't let her sweet smile and her curly bob cut fool you. 3 years ago, she asked her then-boyfriend, now husband, and co-founder of Six Apart, to build her something to help her write web pages. The result was movable type. Today, their hosted service TypePad has over 10 million users. 10 million users means over 10 million authors. Close behind is Matt Mullenweg and the folks at WordPress. They have over 170,000 blogs, and they're growing fast. Blogging in general is growing tremendously. According to Technorati, which is a blog search engine, the number of blogs is doubling every 6 months. The pace of change is increasing. But unless you're Walmart or Citigroup, global competition means you can't compete on price. Instead, you must compete on new products. Here's a diagram to illustrate the point. In today's environment, the only way to generate above-average returns is to bring a new, innovative product or service to market. After a short investment period, if you find a winner, you can expect great returns for a short period. Unfortunately, your competition will be following close behind, and your profit margin will start to shrink. The only way to sustain above-average profits is to develop a constant stream of innovations. You need to follow the first innovation with a second, and then a third, and on and on. Does this happen in the real world? Let's take a look at Apple's constant stream of innovations. Here's the prototype of the iPod. In 2001, say hello to iPod. In 2004, they added the Mini. In 2005, the Shuffle. In late 2005, the Tiny Nano. And then the video iPod. So, how do you create a constant stream of innovations? You copy Google. You rely on the wisdom of crowds. Literally, The Wisdom of Crowds by James Surowiecki. It's a great book. He explains how and when a large group can produce better results when compared with a supposed expert. Google's powerful search results come from trusting people's links. The more people link to a specific page on the internet, the higher the page sits on Google's search results. That's why when you enter Rod Boothby into Google, you get my blog first. Google applies that same principle of trust to innovation. At Google, engineers spend 20% of their time on whatever they want. Let me quote Google's CEO, Eric Schmidt. Virtually everything new seems to come from the 20% of their time Google engineers are expected to spend on side projects. They certainly don't come from management. Most companies have a few senior executives who think it's their role to come up with strategic new ideas. In these companies, the senior executives honestly think they alone are more capable of coming up with innovative ideas than the thousands of people who work for them. That's ridiculous. No matter how bright you are, the capacity of thousands to generate useful new ideas is much higher than an isolated cadre of 2 or 3. Google's executive team has realized this. They have realized that their job as executives is not to come up with all the bright ideas, but instead to foster an environment that encourages the whole company to develop those ideas. Has it worked? Google is in the business of selling ads. The more ad space they have, the more revenue they have. So let's take a look at Google's constant stream of innovations. First there was search, followed by news, followed by Gmail. Now there's Google Calendar and Google Maps. Here's a picture of where I work. Okay, so tactically, how do you do this? How do you empower all your employees? Well, how do you rope them into your strategic objective? And remember, your strategic objective is constant innovation. How do you turn your knowledge workers into innovation creators? Well, first, who are your innovation creators? Is it this guy? Or these guys? Or this guy? It's your whole team. What does your team need to generate a constant stream of innovation? The best way to answer this question is to look at it from the point of view of a junior or mid-level person who has a bright idea. It could be a small idea, or it could be a big idea. Your job is to create an environment where this person can succeed. Step 1. Innovation creators need to know who's who. Your boss isn't always the best person to talk to when you're in the early stages of developing an idea, or if you have a marginal interdepartmental efficiency, lateral conversations are much cheaper and much faster than pushing something all the way up and then back down a hierarchical chain of command. Second, innovation creators need to know what's going on. People cannot help you solve your global strategic problems if they only have a vision of what happens in their silo. Step 3, innovation creators need to be motivated. That means innovation creators need to own a piece of the pie. Step 4, innovation creators thrive in an environment where their colleagues are motivated to share, pitch in, and help. You're looking to create an environment of reciprocal altruism. Instead of saying, "That's not my job," people help out because they know they'll be eventually rewarded for their efforts. Ownership and reciprocal altruism are part of the same insight. The money you pay your people makes them show up every day, but a sense of pride and ownership makes them work hard. You want to create an environment that leverages those built-in human social pressures to foster communication and innovation. Step 5, innovation creators thrive in an environment that encourages dialogue and true feedback loops. The lightning bolt good idea is a myth. Most ideas require extensive feedback and much iteration before they can evolve into an amazing innovation. Step 6, the organization must be culturally primed to accept constant innovation. Technology can't help make this happen, but it can help you communicate the importance of the message. And finally, you need some structure. Email and the web work so well because they're both underpinned by rigid structures. To get an idea of the kind of structure you need, copy the greatest innovation engine in the world. Copy academia. Academia uses a combination of credited degree programs to teach and a known structure of lectures, working papers, and peer-reviewed journals to discuss research and collectively produce a stream of innovations. As an aside, some of the ideas of what an innovation creator needs were derived from the book Lost and Found by Lyle Sussman, Sam Deep, and Alex Suber. I recommend it highly. I also highly recommend Emergence by Steve Johnson. He discusses how independent agents, guided by simple rules and operating in an environment with some structure, can collectively produce discernible patterns. Under the right conditions, intelligence can emerge from these patterns. An example is Adam Smith's invisible hand, which is a nice metaphor to describe the intelligence that emerges from a free market. So what tools do innovation creators need? They need a better communication tool. They don't need knowledge management. Today, innovation creators have Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. That's 10 years of Microsoft and nothing new. It's time for a new productivity tool. Enter blogs. A blog is a communication tool. It sits on the communication continuum. Instant messaging and email are push tools. You have to interrupt someone to communicate with them. Emails are particularly bad, CC to CYA. Blogs are a pull-based communication tool. If you're running a project blog, you can post information about the project and people can get it when they need it. Some business types think there isn't a business use for this communication tool, just as some people thought there wasn't a business use for email or instant messaging. They're wrong. There's a direct need for business blogs. And there is a need for internal-only business blogs. Here's how you can use them. For example, in a consulting firm, start with people pages. These are basically online bios or resumes. They're searchable, they have contact information, they tell you an amazing amount about your colleagues, their work experience, the current projects they are dealing with, and how perhaps they can help you turn your innovative idea into reality. Any company that claims their greatest assets walk out the door every evening needs one of these kinds of tools. Next, consulting company does projects, so have a project page. All the latest on each project. With blogs, you can CC the blog rather than CCing to CYA. Now everyone can get updated information when they need it. Consultants have clients, so set up a client page for each major client. Link to the people pages so that the executives in charge of the client relationship. Link to the projects you've done for that client. Those projects can link back to the people pages for the folks who worked on each project, all using simple blogs. At my firm, we've added one more traditional blog. We call it a focus page. It works like a blog on the open internet, except the authors are supposed to focus on a specific business-related topic. It's a little like an internal e-magazine with firm-specific content and with lots of time-saving links to internal and external articles. Finally, consulting firms have practice areas, so we have practice pages. The point is to create blogs with obvious business purpose. Answer the question, what do we communicate about in this company? For example, if you're a bank, you might want obligor pages. If you're a manufacturer, you might want supplier pages. If you run a store or a group of stores, you might need vendor pages. You create a simple, customized structure that gives your people an efficient way to communicate while getting work done. And most importantly, get all that work done in a way that can be leveraged for future use. Blog-based information can be leveraged into search. For a great blog search engine, check out sphere.com. For efficiency gains, blog-based information can be leveraged into aggregators using feeds. All good blogging tools come with feeds. For a great example, check out netvibes.com. Or if you need to bridge the gap into the push-based email world, blogs can be leveraged by email aggregators. Check out Atenza. Tips and tricks? Given today's enterprise tools, you're going to have to hack together a solution. Just because they call the product enterprise does not mean they have everything you need. You can use automatic multi-user WordPress, which is on track to being a great enterprise product. You can use 6apart's movable type. They have an enterprise version with links into things like LDAP. Or you can use a hybrid and extend some kind of email collaboration tool. Joyent is built with Ruby on Rails, so you know it scales up and down and can be easily extended. Or maybe you can hack a wiki. Traction Software is well funded and has been used successfully to share market intelligence. Central Desktop is a software as a service vendor, which means you can start using it now. Social Text is one of the premier enterprise wiki vendors. There's also JotSpot. Future dedicated enterprise blogging solutions include Blogtronics. Personally, I think that companies could benefit from using both blogs and wikis. But I've started my efforts at my firm with blogs because I like how blog templates can be used to place a customized structure around how we work and communicate. Developing the right structure makes it more obvious how people will use the tool. Other tips and tricks? Keep it simple. Aim for a system that requires zero training. Make sure people get credit. Every post should have a byline that links back to the author's people page. This gives both a sense of ownership and fosters an environment of reciprocal altruism. People know they will get points for helping out. Finally, do not force a mandatory taxonomy. People resent being forced to learn post taxonomies. People resent having to relearn taxonomies each time there's a change. And finally, a coordinated top-down approach to information isn't necessary. Google can find things on the web, yet Google has not forced every website to use a required taxonomy. Wikipedia is an organized encyclopedia with over 1 million entries and no imposed taxonomy. The only way to make profits in the face of globalized competition is to constantly innovate. You achieve constant innovation by empowering your innovation creators. You empower your innovation creators by giving them a new class of internal communication tools, blogs. Blogs give innovation creators what they need. Innovation creators need to know who's who, what's going on. They need to feel like they own a piece of the pie. They need to feel that they operate in an environment of reciprocal altruism. There need to exist true dialogue and feedback loops. And finally, they need to be in an organization that is ready and prepped for innovation. Therefore, innovation creators need enterprise blogs. If you want to find out more, check out www.innovationcreators.com. There's 2 white papers, Turning Knowledge Workers into Innovation Creators, and a second one, The Next Wave in Productivity Tools, Web Office. A special thanks to podsafeaudio.com and Flickr. My name again is Rod Boothby. My blog is innovationcreators.com. Thank you very much for your time.